Hey guys, it's Ivory. Welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I am doing a very romantic, girly, super feminine eye look today for Valentine's Day. It is very soft, very subtle, very wearable, whether it's just for a date or by yourself. If you're alone, that's okay. Don't feel bad. Just know that there are a lot of people out there that are in relationships that want to be single. So glass half full. Before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Wednesdays and Sundays and post occasional bonus videos throughout the week. So to get this look, let's just get right into the tutorial. Okay, I'm gonna start with my eyes first. I think I wanna do a natural pink type of look. I know, right? Pink on Valentine's Day? Revolutionary. It's never been done. Unheard of. I'm well aware that it's not an original idea, but it is just my take on it. And plus, I actually love pink. Pink is my favorite color ever since I can remember. I've always loved accessorizing with pink. I'm not obsessive like Jeffree Star, like pink on pink on pink, but I like to add little pops of pink, like pink nails, pink water cup, pink phone, pink robe, pink journal, pink chanclas. So if you ever meet me in person and you want to give me a gift, if it's pink, I'll automatically love it. Just a heads up. To prime my eyes, I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is in the shade Light. And I'm just gonna buff that out with a beauty sponge. This one is from Morphe. And then going into the Huda Beauty New Nude palette, I'm going to set the concealer with the first shade, which is called Bare. And I'm gonna take just a big fluffy brush and just set it. Starting off with a very small fluffy brush, I'm going into the last shade, which is called Teddy. It looks brown, but when you apply it, it does have a hint of a pink undertone. So it's like a nudie brownie pink. And I'm only gonna apply this to the outer V. I'm actually not gonna apply it anywhere into the socket. Like, it only stays out here in the outer V, and that is it for now. And I'm just gonna go in circular motions and really just deepen it up. And then once you have basically no product left, just a couple times you're gonna go into the socket. I want it to be super faint. Next, with a Morphe M506 brush, I'm gonna go in with the shade Tickle. It doesn't look like much, but when you apply it on the eyes, I don't know, something about it is just so complimentary. I'm gonna use this to blend out Teddy, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna smoke out the outer V, and when there's barely any product, then I'm gonna just add it into the socket. And I want it to be very faint, so if you think you overdid it, then just use your finger and just kind of undo. I actually did this look yesterday because we went to someone's house to watch the Royal Rumble, which is like this wrestling thing. I don't really understand it, but I wore this look and I was like, what do you think? I wanna do this for Valentine's Day. And he was like, oh, I love it. It looks so good, which means a lot to me because my husband doesn't really like when I wear makeup, at least not a lot of makeup. So when he said he liked my makeup, that it just meant a lot to me. So if we ever go on dates, I always like to do like romantic type of looks like this because I know he really likes them. Going in with the BH Cosmetics Ultimate Neutrals palette, I'm gonna go in with this matte white right here, and with a flat shader brush, I am just going to apply that as the base, and that is gonna go all over the lid. It doesn't go past the socket, and it's gonna go only 2/3 of the way. And then once the matte white is down, I'm gonna go in with this white shimmer, and I'm gonna add that to the lid. I want it to be very bright just because it really opens up the eyes. And then once you add the first layer with your finger, you can go in with another flat shader brush with the same shadow and then just kind of make it precise. It's not going to be an exact cut crease. It's going to be like a soft one. I want everything to look very soft and wistful, so I'm not really going for precision. I feel like I said it too many times. Now I don't know which one it is. Precision. I feel like I said it right the first time. Precision. And then with a different small fluffy brush, this one is shorter haired, I'm going to mix in both tease as well as raw, and that is gonna mix in the transition shade as well as the shimmer on the lid, and it's just gonna kind of smoke everything out. Just a little. Since this color isn't very dramatic, I just wanna add a little bit of drama. And then on top of this white, I'm actually gonna go in with Crave, which is this yellowy, but it has multiple multiple reflex in it, and I want it to be very reflective on the lids. So I'm gonna take that, and it's kind of just an eyeshadow topper at this point. I'm gonna move on to my base now. So for primer, I'm going in with the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer, and I'm gonna apply this only to my T-zone because that's where I get the oiliest. And then the rest of my face, I'm actually just gonna leave it. I want it to be more of a natural finish just because I wanna look like me but better. For foundation, I'm going in with both the Maybelline Superstay as well as the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. I'm gonna blend it out using my Juno & Co. microfiber sponge. So I figured since Valentine's Day is coming up, maybe we should talk about relationships. When I first started dating my husband was a rebound from my last relationship, and my ex was someone that I dated my junior year in high school. And funnily enough, that relationship started because I was a rebound from his last girlfriend, and it was very toxic. We were on and off the entire year that we dated. It was very dramatic. People were just making a mockery out of us because we were just always fighting. It was very public, but I didn't care. I just really wanted to be with him, and because he was still hung up on his last girlfriend, nothing I did was ever good enough for him. So he was always breaking up with me for what seemed like no reason, and I was too stupid to see it was because he just didn't want to be with me. Like, I just couldn't accept that because I did everything right on paper, and I just didn't seem to connect that just because you can do something right on paper, if that person just doesn't want to be with you, then they don't want to be with you. And I think as a person on that side, and also as a person who witnesses a relationship where the person isn't supposed to be together, let me just tell you, don't hound that person with that advice. You can tell them once, like, this is what I think of your relationship. Just let it be that one time, because they know what you think, but at the end of the day, that person is gonna do what they want to do. So whether or not everyone tells them you guys shouldn't be together, it's a very toxic relationship, that is something that person, including me, had to find out for myself. I had to realize myself the relationship was bad, and unfortunately it ended up in heartbreak because the guy didn't even break up with me. In the summer of 2010, he broke up with me again, and I didn't take it seriously because he was always breaking up with me. So I've already edited this video, and I just wanted to add this one thing because I misspoke. I was very fixated on doing my foundation and talking that I said the wrong thing. So I wanted to correct myself. Me and my ex were not broken up. He did not say he wanted to break up. He said he wanted to take a break, which is not the same thing. I remember it was on July 4th. I think I texted or I called him and I said, happy July 4th, and he said something about being unsure about the relationship again and that he needed to take a step back and rethink some things. I didn't take it seriously, and I just said okay, thinking like this is what you always do, we're just gonna get back together in like a couple days, and I gave him his space. So I wanted to correct that because the rest of the story will make sense. So just to be clear, we were on a break, not a break up.
We were on a break!
We good? Okay, let's move on. 2 weeks go by and I don't hear from him, and I ran into his brother and I said, is your brother gonna break up with me because I haven't heard from him? And he was like, I thought you guys broke up because a couple days ago he introduced us to his new girlfriend. And I was like, what? So after that, I ran into my ex again at a football game, and I just confronted him and I said, I heard you have another girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, I didn't want to deal with your tears and your guilt, so instead of breaking up with you and dealing with your drama, which I definitely was because I was always fighting for us and it was very frustrating, so instead of dealing with all that, I decided just to not tell you and let you take the hint. It broke my heart. I was crying for like weeks. And so when I started dating my boyfriend, now husband, I wanted to prove to my ex that just because you moved on doesn't mean that I can't be happy without you. Like, I can find someone better. So I started dating Steve. Sorry, I'm using the Fit Me concealer one more time. I had a very hard time adjusting to a normal relationship because the last relationship was so toxic. I told myself, I'm not putting up with anything. I'm not gonna deal with someone being disrespectful to me. I'm not gonna deal with someone who doesn't fight for me. So I would just make anything a big deal. And it was so unfortunate that Steve had to deal with my baggage because I wasn't over my ex. But thank God he did, because he is an amazing person. I'm so glad he stuck it out and saw that it was just something from my past. With time, the pain went away and I was able to just focus on my relationship with Steve. And I think going off to college was very helpful because I didn't actually have have to see my ex anymore. And I think from college on, I was over my ex completely. And I think another problem with my last relationship and a lot of people with their relationships is just because they spend X amount of time in a relationship, whether it's a marriage or they're just dating, they think, oh, I've been with this person for 5 years. I don't want all that time to be a waste. And you can't think like that. It's just a lesson learned. You could have loved that person before and that person changed. You may have fallen out of love, and that's okay. But I always say, don't be afraid to take the road less taken just because you're not sure what the future is going to be. Don't hold on to something just because you're comfortable with it and you think that's just how life should be. Whether or not you guys have kids, whether or not you guys are engaged and just put a huge deposit into the wedding, at the end of the day, don't stick to someone if you're unhappy with them. Okay, let's get back into the tutorial a little bit. I did go ahead and set with my Coty Airspun in only the areas where I added concealer, and for the rest of my face, I'm going to use this fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder, and I'm only going to lightly set my face just because I want it to be just a little bit natural. So instead of a matte look, it's gonna be like a satin matte. Next, I'm going to be contouring using my Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I'm just gonna actually really lightly contour today. And I'm only gonna do it on my cheeks as well as my forehead. Sometimes I notice I overdo it right here, and when I see images of me, it's like this bar of just contour under my jawline, and it's not very attractive. So I think from now on, I'm gonna go easy with the jawline contour. And I'm also gonna take a Morphe E62 brush, and I'm gonna use that to contour my nose. For blush, I'm actually gonna go back in with the Huda Beauty New Nude palette, and I'm gonna go back in with Tickle. I love using the shade as blush, and plus since I used it on the eyes, it just makes everything monochromatic. And then after blush, I'm gonna take a little bit more of my setting powder, and I'm just going to carve out my cheekbones. And I'm also gonna apply this to the eyes just to clean it up a little bit. Okay, so lashes and brows are on. As always, all of the products that I use are in the description box below in case you are curious on what I am using. This has been baking for like 7 minutes, so I'm just gonna wipe it away. With an e.l.f. eye crease brush, I'm gonna go in with the shade Tickle, and I am just going to smoke out my lower lash line. And this can go a little bit low just because it's such a light color that it's okay and it's not gonna look super dramatic. And then with an e.l.f. eyeliner brush, I'm going in with both tease as well as raw, and I'm gonna use that to tightline my lower lash line. And then in the waterline, I'm going in with a nude eyeliner. This one is the Rimmel Exaggerate Waterproof Eye Definer, and this is just gonna really open up the eyes and make them look bigger. I'm gonna add some mascara to the lower lashes. This is the YSL The Shock Mascara. I'm actually going to use the brush that I use for my blush, and I'm going to use a more shimmery bronzer. This one is the Milani Baked Bronzer. I'm going to add that on top of the blush just so that there's a little bit more of a sheen, because that eyeshadow is matte and I wanted my cheeks to look a little bit glowy. I usually only use this for the summer because it can look a little bit orange really fast, so use this sparingly. For lips, I'm going with the Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream. This is in the shade Precious. They dry down super quick, very matte, long lasting staying power. And usually for a date night, you know, you want something long lasting. If you're gonna be making out with your man or your woman, so you're gonna want something that doesn't quit on you. And then to set this all in, I'm using the Milani Make It Last setting spray. And this is the final look. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like this video and feel free to comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see from me. I hope everybody out there has a very happy Valentine's Day, whether you are doing it with a loved one or by yourself, that's fine too. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!